Welcome back to the final segment of the Loveland Report and the Lone Ranger Show. I am Cleve Loveland, alongside Bruce Woodburn, the best lender in Central Florida, probably in the state, probably nationwide. He's got the products. Lenders always say, "I've got a product for you." Bruce has it. He literally does. He can't name them all. Probably you need
can't name them.
You need to do an A to Z loan.
I was going to do a song with all.
That's
you remember
right.
the
You play the
Johnny
guitar.
Cash
Yeah.
song where I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere.
You need to do that with your products. I know you can play that guitar.
Right, he just rattles off all the cities. I need to do a song that's got all my loan products.
You should.
I just can't rap that well.
You could probably feed that into AI chatbot.
Maybe that's GPT. A good idea.
You should do that. Use that stuff for something. All right. Property management do's and don'ts, Bruce. You and I talk about making people landlords. Renting your old primary house will find you a new primary house. Leapfrog your way to some wealth, some generational wealth. I see when I started property management, Bruce, back in 08, I had my own investment properties for 20 years before that. But in 08, I saw people being taken advantage of, not getting rent. The realtors weren't managing the properties. They weren't getting the late fees. The properties weren't being taken care of. The realtors were pocketing the rent. It was a horrible time. And I'd have people bring me properties that were beat up. They're just over it. They wanted to be done with them. And I helped them fix this. It's an investment property, and it should be semi-passive. That's not where you're over there every day cutting the grass and you just want the check in your mailbox or the money deposited in your account, and make it simple. Your mortgage payment's $1,500. Your rent check is $3,000. That's an investment. And then you and I talk about using that extra rent to pay down the first mortgage. And when you buy house number 3, the rent from number 2 goes to pay down number 1.
That's right.
And it snowballs from there.
Program.
And that's how you leapfrog. But I see people do things when they try and do it on their own. They let family members in the property. They let tenants, they get to be friends with the tenant. And they say, "Oh, I've had the same tenant for 10 years. They're awesome." I go, "Let me guess.
Right.
Your market rent in your neighborhood's $2,200. You're charging $1,100. "Oh yeah, but they're great. They pay on time." I'm like, "Of course they do." But did you also know they're running a washing machine repair shop out of the back garage, and there's 20 old washers out in your backyard? I've had this happen, Bruce. I'm not making this stuff up.
I believe you have.
I've had this happen. I've had people with puppy mills. I've people bring me their rentals saying, I'm over this, take care of this for me. And sometimes you got to go in and say, there's no, this tenant's not going to be a good one to keep there to protect the value of the property.
You look for that when you're screening them, right?
Well, when you screen, Bruce, knock on wood, I've done probably 5 evictions in 30 years.
Yeah.
2 of those people I was nice to. So I'm not involved in my property management anymore. I've got a property manager, but when you're nice to them, you can't do that. We are enforcing the rules of the lease. And when you do what we do, Bruce, is we'll have 20 people going to go see a rental, and we send them our 2 pages of rules. You got to pay on time. You're going to wire your money in. We're going to, you're going to use this app for reporting repairs. We're going to check your credit. We're going to check your criminal history. We're going to check your past landlord. What happens out of those 20 people that said, "Hey, I want to look at the property," 5 show up to look at it, which is good. That's the cream of the crop. That's who we want looking at it. We also show it at the same time. Some management companies, we say we're going to be there at 4:00 tomorrow afternoon. I want the 5 that show up tripping over each other. So the one that's really ready to go is going to give their money. They're not going to dawdle. But you know what some companies do, Bruce?
What's that?
They just send out a code. Say, "Go open the door, see what you like. Send me a copy of your driver's license."
Oh boy.
Yeah. That's not sales. That's not sales.
That's dangerous.
If you have properties you want to manage, if you've heard somebody tell a nightmare story about a bad tenant, have them call me. It doesn't have to be that way. 407-352-8118 or cleveloveland.com.
Yeah. So you check their credit, right?
Just like a mortgage, getting a mortgage.
You check their credit. You check their income and debt ratio.
Yeah, I'm looking for about 2.5 times.
For references.
Yep, we check references on the past landlord because,
I think that's the most important thing.
That's one of them.
So and you're a little more strict than I am. So when I'm renting to people, I am far less concerned about their credit, because if their credit's good, I'm just going to get them into a mortgage, right? But if their credit's bad, but they pay their rent on time and their debt ratios are good, so I look for previous rent. If they complain about their past landlord, I immediately ixnay you. You're done. I don't care if your landlord was the worst landlord ever. If you complain about landlord, it's a red flag for me.
Well, the thing about whoever you are, even if you manage them yourself like you, it needs to be an investment, not a hobby or a time bandit. Of course. Not something that eats up all your time. Well, that's
the number one thing you and I find that landlords do is they don't charge enough rent and they become too emotional with their tenants.
Yep.
They
want to be too nice. Nope. I will be the hammer. I will fix things. I've got a portfolio right now, Bruce, I'm turning around. The owner should be getting about $30,000 a month. They're getting 15. And
15?
the tenants are the worst.
Oh boy.
So, and I've taken over 5 properties, and I'm close to, I'm going to get that out of the 18 properties. I'm going to get those all under control and have just a nice portfolio. The landlord's going to be able to quit work.
That's fantastic.
And so
that's what I plan on doing with my rentals, is so that I can
help fund your
live
retirement
off my rental income.
Gas up the boat. All right. How do people reach you, Bruce?
407-250-9144 or WeBringYouHome.com. Purchases, refinance, home equity line, new construction, renovation loans, reverse mortgages, you name it, I got it. I can't think of a loan program. Down payment assistance programs. Listen, we've got them all. If there's one available for you, we're going to get you into it. There's no excuse for you to keep renting. Or even worse, your move-up buyers that didn't want to move because they got a 3.5% 30-year fixed rate and they didn't want to go to 7%. Well, now you negotiate, seller pays some closing costs for you. You can get that rate down in the 5s.
Yeah.
And get the house you want.
Yep.
Quit living in a house you don't want to be in anymore. You got too many kids, or you've outgrown it, or you're downsizing. It's time to do it now.
Well, the prices are not going to stop going up, even in this crummy Sleepy Joe.
They're not going to stop going up.
They're not going to stop going up.
Stop going up.
So even in the Sleepy Joe economy, the past 2 years, high rates, prices are still going up.
Yes, they are.
So this is the slowest market.
It's amazing how, when I watch these debates, how they talk about how great of a job Biden and Harris have done on the economy. I can't think that you could be an honest Democrat and go, yeah, they really did a great job. I just don't know how you could do that.
Anybody honest? Yeah, I like watching when they got the focus group lines on there and they the liars it just plummets. Just plummets. Like, you're full of it. Anyway, but not Bruce and I will tell you the truth.
Absolutely,
and we will get you to the closing table. We will help you with that. Whether you're thinking about buying this year, selling this year, or next year, I like to help people with their real estate plan. Just had a couple call me. Mom took a fall. And they think she might come back home, but they know she's going to be in rehab for a couple of months, or she's been talking about assisted living. They thought it was a good time to go ahead and rent the home, and they're not going to sell it, but we talked about just renting it out, and it's going to be some income for her. She doesn't have to have that money right now, but it's a nice little nest egg, nice little cushion to her fixed income on Social Security and her portfolio. So whatever your plans are, call me. I'll help you develop a real estate plan. You've got a financial planner. Why wouldn't you want a real estate planner?
That's right. Why wouldn't you want a mortgage planner? Yep. I mean, I have people call me all the time about their mortgages and should they refinance. I discouraged about 50% of the people that called me for refinancing to refinance right now. The other 50%, I said it's a good time to do it. But if you're looking to consolidate debt right now and you're drowning in debt, don't wait any longer. Don't wait for one late payment. If you have one late payment on anything, it's going to tank your credit score. It's going to tank your rate, and then you won't be able to get out of it. So come see me before that happens, before you ever have a late payment on anything, because one late is going to screw you up. Doesn't matter what it was on, and you will regret it. Start now. Call me now at 407-250-9144. The rest of you, like my veterans or FHA clients or conventional people that have rates in the 6s, I will put you on a wait list, and then we will tag what interest rate we need you to get to make it worth your while. And so then I call you on that day and I go, hey, Mike Bruno, we're ready to go. I got a call from Mike yesterday. He goes, should I refi yet? I looked at it and I went, nope, I'm going to wait. And I'm going to wait until it hits the right time, and then we're going to refi it. He's like, Bruce, you're the only mortgage company that does that. I said,
you're walking anywhere, they'd sit you down and start filling out the app.
I guarantee you call the Rocket, you call your bank, they're going to go, yes, sir, Mr. Bruno, it's time to refinance right now.
All right.
Now's a good time. Listen, it might be, but it might not be. You need the honest truth.
All right. Got some listings here I want to go into. Some great prices. $323,000, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,400 square feet in Orlando. And this one I had the owner, we did a little bit of fix up. She thought she needed to spend 20 grand. We spent about 5. Fresh carpet, fresh paint, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, tile everywhere else besides the bedrooms, bonus room, and the roof was done. AC was done all in the last 2 years. Everything's been done there. I've got one in Kissimmee, $295,000 for 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,500 square feet, 1-car garage, comes with a new roof. The roof will be installed, and fresh paint on the inside for $299,000. That's on the water also. And then Bruce, you did a payment on this one for me. And this is at townhouse, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths for $337,000, 1,400 square feet. And this is in Lake Nona.
Okay.
And it is one thing about this, it's got a 1-car garage. This is Hartford Maroon.
So you get your own garage, right?
Get your own garage.
So that's nice.
Community center, gated
in
community.
In
Lake Nona.
Backing up to a water.
On Lake Nona.
On Lake
Nona. So this community it's $337,000. You got that one? You got that payment?
I do have a payment on that one. I ran a 5% down on that one at a payment of about $1,969 for P&I, including taxes, insurance, mortgage insurance with only 5% down and the HOA fee, $29.45 a month. Now, where can you get a place in Lake Nona for $29.45 a month?
You can't,
and own it.
The other houses around that, the other townhouses, there's some that are priced less, no garage, but they are condos, and the condo dues are $300 more a month. So definitely a great buy. I've got one here in Metro West. This is a premier community in Metro West on the golf course, $650,000. This one's backed up to conservation, 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath with a loft, with a pool, tile roof, custom home, masters on the first floor. It's got 20-foot ceilings throughout the living areas. It's got a remote family room, all cherry wood floors throughout the bottom floor. In the master, it's got a sitting area in the master with a glass fireplace, 3-sided glass fireplace, and then master bathroom with tub and shower for $650,000. You did a payment on that one also, Bruce.
Yeah, this one here we got. That one had a P&I payment of $3,701 and a PITI payment of $4,637. That's a beautiful home. $4,637,000. That's only 5% down, folks. Come on. That's a great payment on a beautiful luxury home. You want to put 20% down, that payment's going to come way down from there. But
quickly,
as an
aside, somebody wanting to buy that house, most likely they're coming out of another house to that home.
Most likely.
You've got a bridge loan.
I do have a bridge loan. Matter of fact, I've got an amazing bridge loan. Most bridge loans don't go through because you have to qualify for the mortgage you have on the house, for the money you're pulling out of that house, to bridge to the new mortgage on the new house. And people just don't qualify for 3 mortgages. Yep. My bridge loan, I don't count your current mortgage. I don't against your debt ratio. I don't count the equity I'm pulling out of it against your debt ratio. I only count the payment on the current home for debt ratio.
That's
and
perfect.
If your house doesn't sell within 120 days of the purchase of the new one, I'll buy it from you.
Well, that's usually not an issue because I usually have that house sold before they even make their first mortgage payment.
Of course you do.
Because if you're going to close 4 or 5 weeks from now, I get your house on the market in 2 weeks. I've got about 7 weeks to market you, and my average runs about 3 to 5 weeks to sell. And then we're closing before you even get hit by your first payment.
Yep, I agree. Well, that's the way to do it. Cleve Loveland's got his act together. He's got a great team. I love your buyer's agent, Nanette Edmonds. She's been helping my buyers. I've got a lot of transactions with her. I think she's one of the best buyer agents, negotiators that are out there right now. I really do.
Well, negotiating is what you hire us for. I mean, we're going to help you and advising you on, is that a good offer or a bad offer? You know, I see offers that come to me, Bruce. Most of my time is spent helping these agents, explaining to these newly untrained agents with every brokerage in town that, hey, the house is listed for $499. If it's the one for your buyers and the neighbors are selling for $490, you don't write a $400,000 offer.
Oh,
and I will do it. I will show them the comps. I will tell them, hey, this is where it needs to be. Call your lender, call my lender. Maybe we can get them a better rate, things like that. I know how to get a deal done. But a lot of what I've done, probably the past 15 years, it's really morphed into that, Bruce, where there's no more big companies with a lot of training. And I have a lot of people just sending me uneducated offers.
I don't think there's a lot of agents out there that have the experience that you and your team does. So, and I think most people are not good at choosing real estate agents. I think that you need to do your homework. Find somebody like Cleve Loveland and his team. That's the way to go. Listen, we really appreciate you joining us today and spending time out of your precious time on your weekend for joining Cleve and I. Cleve can be reached right now at 407-352-8118 or cleveloveland.com.
Yep.
And then at
Loveland Cleve.
At Loveland
on
Cleve.
Instagram.
And then the Loan Arranger at 407-250-9144, 407-250-9144, or webringyouhome.com. God bless each and every one of you. Be safe this weekend. The holidays are quickly approaching, so life goes by fast. Make the best of it, and don't